Well, hello. My name is Ron Roen. I'm 56 years old, and I have dementia. Now, when I tell people that, they sometimes look surprised. So I like to break the tension a little bit with a little bit of humor. I have a joke that I've been working on steadily for months. Now, the only problem is that I forgot it. Everybody laughing there? It was not my kind of joke, but it worked perfectly. So anyway, that usually gets a chuckle out of people like it did here, and I'm glad to see that. It reminds me that humor hasn't left me yet. Even when memory fades, connections keep us anchored. Dementia isn't just about forgetting names and misplacing keys. It's about losing your voice, your memory, and your freedom. It's about slowly losing my past, my present, and my future. And I don't like it. My past, basically I served as a Navy intelligence officer for about 13 years, and then I was enlisted before that. I was trained to analyze, plan, and think clearly under pressure. But in 2006, I noticed something that was going awry, and I couldn't finish a routine report. And when that starts to happen, you have to wonder why. But if you don't know the answers to why, you just have to move on. That was the first real clue that something bigger was going on. My present situation is I live at the Eastern Nebraska Veterans Home. I can't drive anymore. 56 years old, can't drive anymore. I ask a lot of questions to keep track of what's going on. I use mnemonic devices and take notes in order to help me remember. Some days I follow conversations easily, and some days I can't. In the future, with dementia, it becomes blurry. Things aren't as clear to me as they once were. It's hard to plan too far ahead when my memory keeps slipping. There are many seen and unseen symptoms of dementia. If someone in your life had it, dementia that is, what would you notice first? You'd probably see the obvious signs that I see or experience. Trouble focusing, repeating things, mixing up words, physical tremors, which you're probably seeing right now, difficulty with comprehension. But the harder parts are usually the ones that you can't see. You may not notice the frustration I feel when I can't remember a word. You might not see what it feels like to lose independence, such as having to give up driving or being a member of a veterans home. I never imagined that at this age. You probably wouldn't see how relationships change. Due to my circumstances, I depend on people like my family, friends, doctors, therapists, and nonprofits. And a majority of them are here today, but I can't name them. There are too many to name. Some friendships deepen. For example, my friend Pappy, he's here today, and he's extremely supportive. He and I deployed together in Baghdad, and ever since that time, we've gotten along real well, and I always get to do things like split wood, stuff like that. That's a joke. You're right up there. But anyway, when there are people that are not like Pappy, then there are people that pull away, and it's disturbing. But life goes on, and others don't know what to say. A few disappear altogether. These changes are not always visible, but they're real, and they can be very painful, frustrating, embarrassing, and they can be basically, they throw curves at you, is the bottom line. So how do I live with it? Well, I've learned that optimism helps, and it's a good attitude that gets you a longer way. Not fake positivity, but real steady hope. That's my goal. And I appreciate those that support me. I try to focus on what I can do. And here my wife comes into play. Her and I put together an organization or a challenge called the J Purple Challenge with a silver lining. And it's on Facebook if you want to look it up. What's really cool about it is there's no cost. It's a voluntary exercise challenge that's achievable for an individual and or a team. So when I give you these different mileages, you're going to say that's a lot. But if you do it over time, or if you do it with a team, it'll work out. Now the patches, which you see, I think it's, nope, not no more. Okay, so the patches and certificates are earned for doing something active and can be earned by participating, doing 300 miles or 600 miles. And guess what? I did them all, individually. That was before I slowed down. Okay, so then dedicate resources such as time or money to one of the over 27 purple causes. And one of those 27, is cognitive impairment, which talks about dementia and Alzheimer's. It helps me give back, and truthfully, it gives me hope. Right now, there's one person in this room who actually earned a patch. That's how many people have looked into it. But you know what? I'm still confident in it. My doctor told me to stay active, so I do. I try to walk 10,000 steps per day just to stay in shape. But I did train for and cross the finish line of the 50-mile march. I don't know if there are any 50-mile march people in here. All right, but I'll tell you what, it was wonderful. And so I did that. And right now, basically what the 50-mile march does is they support veterans who are homeless and or have a mental health challenge. And they're building these homes that just the plan impresses me. Every step I take reminds me that I'm still here. In the Navy, we use active sonar, which uses a ping or a pulse of sound to detect objects. We send out that signal and wait for the signal return. That information gives us information about where we are and basically how we can stay safe. I ask a lot of questions. I check in when I can. I listen to people around me. That's how I stay oriented, and that's how I stay connected. I might ask these interesting questions. Well, did I already say that? Are we on the same page? What did I miss? When someone answers with patience and kindness, it tells me I'm not alone. So what can you do as the audience? Well, I'll tell you right out front. You don't need to be specially trained If you just show up, that's a good thing. Walk with me, talk with me, laugh with me, and please be patient when I ask the same question twice. Bottom line is help me stay anchored. That simple kindness means more than you know. Dementia may take away parts of my memory, but it hasn't taken my will. It hasn't taken my sense of humor, and it hasn't taken away my mission. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep walking, talking, asking questions, and I'm going to keep sending out signals. And I hope someone like you will keep pinging back. Okay.